All right, let's see. Let me check. Did you guys get to turn in your homework yet for this class?
I did.
Good. Oh, I see both of yours. Perfect. Okay, then. And your homework was to write the body part of your essay. And then we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to work on the introduction and the conclusion today. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up, though, here, so we can look at it together. Bronx, are you okay if I pull up yours first? Okay, cool.
I wasn't able to turn it in sooner because I didn't see like the link that it usually shows like the work that's assigned. So I wasn't able to turn it in sooner.
Oh, right. That was my bad. I forgot to post it and somebody told me, hey, are you going to post that? So I apologize. That was my fault.
That's okay.
It's there. So
That I turned it in.
yeah, you got it. I got it right here. So that's good. Okay. And I noticed you use Google Docs. So was that pretty easy for you?
Yeah.
Good. That's good. Both of you and Alexis are using that. So that's a good thing. So a couple of things I want to point out, and I showed this to your sister too. I don't know if you heard any of what I was saying to her, but a few things to look for here. So on your checklist, in fact, let's look at that first together. And then Caitlin, while I'm looking at Bronx's, you can check yours to make sure you have all of your stuff that you need on your paper. All right, let's look at the checklist. Oh, well, that's funny because you probably haven't gotten it out of your binder yet. Let me back up. Do you have this out yet? Page 165. This is week 18. I don't know if we got it out last week. I have a note that says we need to get it out. So go to your binder and it's going to be under the source text tab. It's going to be page 165. It's called week 18 and it says a place of your choice. So you need a few pages. You need 165. You need 167. You need 169. It's like that. And 171. So you need 4 pages. They all should say week 18, a place of your choice at the top. So you need those 4 pages out. You can put away if you still have it out, week 17. I don't even know if you had anything out for that. A subject of your choice. You can put that away if you have that out. Okay. And so we're going to focus on this. Give me a thumbs up if you guys have these pages out of your binder. Here, you know where they are. Do you have yours, Caitlin? Okay, good. All right. So this top page, we just keep it together. We don't really use that page. Then there's this one, which we'll read in a minute. Go to the checklist. And I mentioned it in the homework for this week, but I don't know if you had it out yet. But basically, your checklist is still the same from last time. You've got your 6 dress ups, all 6 now. And this checklist is a little scary because it does have more paragraphs. Now we have paragraphs 4 and 5. So yeah, this is going to get a little harder from here on out. But that's okay. You guys are ready for this. And then you have your 2 sentence openers down here, prepositional opener and an ly adverb opener. Notice there's a couple of new things up here too, which we will talk about in a minute. But looking at your 3 main body paragraphs, that's going to be paragraphs 2, 3, and 4, because that's considered the meat, the middle. If you think of a sandwich, you got the bread on the outside and the meat is in the middle, right? That's the body of your paper that you're writing. You're writing a report here or an essay. And you want to make sure to have those 6 words underlined, plus have a 2 with a bracket for the prepositional opener and a 3 with a bracket for the ly adverb opener. So those are the things I'm looking for. And I know that it's kind of new to you, so it's okay if you don't have it on there yet, but I'm going to go through that with you today. You also still have up here where it says body in your checklist, that's paragraphs 2, 3, and 4, or 2, 3, and 4, the middle. You need your topic clincher sentences, that rule that reflects 2 to 3 key words, either highlighted or bolded. That's still on your checklist. Now, introduction and conclusion's different. Don't worry about that yet. We'll talk about that next. So in light of that, let's look at Bronx's paper really quick, and then we'll look at yours, Caitlin. Make sure you have those things. Whoops, hold on. Okay, here's Bronx. And you're writing about Ennio Kern, which is super cool. So, and I see some words bolded and I see some words underlined. So I see here you have clear blue and majestic. And let's see. So wonderfully here is that your ly, that's your ly adverb, right? Okay, here's what I'm going to do, Bronx. Do you know how to pull this up on your other computer? Do you have a second computer you can pull this up with?
Yeah, I already have it up.
You do. Okay, so I'm just going to return it to you so you can work on it. This is the beauty of Google Docs, and I know you saw me doing this with Caitlin before, but now you have it back to you so you can actually click and fix things. But right here, that word wonderfully, that's a good ly adverb, but you don't need it bolded. So let's take off the bold on that. And do you know how to do that?
No.
So if you highlight it, watch how I do it on your screen here. I'm going to highlight it. And the cool thing is you can probably see me doing that on your other computer too, huh?
Yeah, I can.
It's cool. Up here where you have the B, that's the bold. So you just click that while it's highlighted and it takes away the bold.
Oh, I don't have that for some reason.
Oh,
It says
so
request edit access.
refresh your screen because I sent it back to you. So you might have to refresh. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
Up here at the very top left, that little circle arrow thing. Now see if you can, because I returned it to you. So you see if you can edit.
Yeah, I can. All right, there we go.
Good. Okay, cool. And I see you on my end too. Yep. So you can highlight. I do that all the time.
Oh my gosh.
That's all right. I know we're putting you on the spot here. That's all right. There you
All right,
go.
there we go.
Okay, got it. And then you got it underlined. So that's good for your ly adverb. And then you need, and the next one is a who, which clause. And do you have any who or which clauses in here? The first paragraph is what I'm looking at. Let's see. I don't see one yet. So,
I don't believe I.
that's okay. This right here, you don't need to underline the whole sentence. I'm not sure why it got underlined. Maybe that was an accident, but
Yeah.
if you highlight that whole thing like I have it, and then click up here to take off the underline. Yeah, there you go. Yes. And do that for this last sentence too, because for whatever reason, the whole sentence got there. This is cool. So glad you're doing this now. Okay. There you go.
All right.
You got it. Perfect. So we got wonderfully. Clear blue skies. Let's see. Now, why did you bold those? You remember?
I believe it is a quality adjective. I think.
Yes, I agree with that. You don't need both of them underlined. So here's what you can do. Highlight that. Take off the bold because you don't need them bolded yet. Here, I'll take mine off so you can see it better. Take off the bold, and then you can either choose clear or blue, but you took off the underline. So yeah, take off the bold, and then you can choose either clear or blue as your adjective, and then underline whichever word you want to use for your adjective, but not both, because that's 2 words. Does that make sense?
Oh,
You just need one.
so you just want me to do blue?
You can
or
either
clear?
you can pick either clear or blue because they're both good adjectives. Yes, there you go. All right, so you've got wonderfully needs another L at the end here. So just add an L right there. I'm just going to help you fix this first paragraph and then we'll talk about it. Go ahead and this is another quality adjective, which is a good one, but you already have clear underline. So you don't need this one. You can take off bold and take off the underline.
All right.
Okay. And you do need a who, which clause, but you don't have to fix that right at this moment, but take a note down somewhere on your line paper or somewhere, write down that you need to add a who or which clause to that paragraph. You also need a strong verb. I bet you have one. Oh, groomed. I like this word, groomed. Wonderfully groomed trails. So right here, this word groomed, underline that for your quality or your strong verb. Okay, good. You also need the word because. I don't see because in here. Did you?
I do not think I put that in there.
So write that down in your notes that you need a because clause. And check yours too, Caitlin, while I'm looking at Bronx's. Make sure you have all yours in there too. And then you need a www.asia word. And that is the when, while, where, as, since, if, although.
What clause?
And Asia, remember at www.asia? I do see the word if here. And that's the I in Asia. So you could underline that.
All right.
Underline if. And that works for that. So you're just missing who, which, and because. That's all you're missing in this top one. And then you are missing your topic clincher sentence or your topic clincher keywords. So looking at your first sentence, Inyo Kern is known for its clear blue skies and it is surrounded by the majestic Sierra Mountains. I love that sentence. And then here, our coldest on record was in 1972. It was a crisp 12 degrees out because, hey, there's because. You have it. Underline that. Because of this chilly temperature, many bundled up and stayed inside. Did I lose you, Bronx? Oh, okay. And really, you can, I see that you put a semicolon there. Semicolons are kind of hard to know when to use, but in that particular sentence, it needs to be a period. And then go ahead and capitalize the word because. It's okay to start a sentence with because for this class. There we go. Good. Okay, you got your because, so you're just missing who or which. So you're missing, let's see. Your last sentence is because of this chilly temperature, many bundled up and stayed inside. So you need to find some key words to tie in together with your top sentence here. And a keyword could be Inyokern, because that is what you're talking about. If you add it here, maybe because of this chilly temperature in Inyokern, you could add it right here.
All over here.
Does that make sense?
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want me to underline it?
No, I think you should bold it because it is a keyword for your topic clincher. So it's not, you're only underlining dress ups. So you can bold that in Inyokern and then add it here because of this chilly temperature like this in Inyokern. I'll just show you where I want it. Oops, I didn't spell it right. I still didn't spell it right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In your current, okay, so go ahead, I'll delete that and you type it in.
All right.
And then bold Inyokern. You're having trouble with spelling it too, huh?
All right, I got it.
There we go. There you go, yeah. Okay, so that's one word you have repeated right here, Inyokern and Inyokern. Now you need at least two. So what's another word from your top sentence that you can add to the end sentence that would tie it together?
I do not know.
Okay, let me help you
Trying to
here.
think.
Inyokern is known for its clear blue skies and surrounded by the majestic Sierra Mountains. Let's see.
Sure, we could. Do you think the would be a good one to put in, or no?
The,
Like, does
Yeah.
it like could it just be like a regular everyday word, or does it have to be something like a name or something like that?
it has to be a keyword, so not an everyday word. So I'm looking at words like mountains. I was trying to think of how could you put in maybe because of this chilly temperature in Inyokern and the mountains nearby or something like that. Many bundled up and stayed inside. Do you see how I'm trying to tie that in? Maybe the word mountains, or you could use the word majestic. And that doesn't really fit with Inyokern. You could use known. How about you put this? Because of this chilly temperature. No, that doesn't sound right. I was gonna
Or
say,
how about because of this known chilly temperature. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do
They
you
love
think?
their chili.
They love their chili. That's a different chili.
Yeah.
And maybe you could put and surrounding mountains right here like this. Because of this chilly temperature in Inyokern and that would sound better, and the surrounding mountains, comma, many bundled up and stayed inside. But you don't need to bold it. It just bolded it for me when I put it there, but maybe add that right there. Because of this chilly temperature in Inyokern and the surrounding mountains, comma.
All right. How was I supposed to put that? I just.
It's okay. So put and the surrounding mountains right where your cursor is. Yeah. We'll fix the bold in a second, or you could take it off bold. So you need and the surrounding mountains. And surrounding, yeah.
Hey, Mom. Mom,
Why?
are you gonna start on yours?
Yeah, instead of surrounded, you could put surrounding.
I've done the tongue.
That's super cool. So
There you go.
Heard of it. Surrounding area or mountains?
Oh, you
Yeah, 'cause
could
it's different.
you could put either area or mountains. It's up to you. Either one would work.
Choose number 2.
Nope.
And then put a comma after mountains. Okay, put it right next to the S there on mountains. Go backspace. There you go, right there. Okay, good. Now you can highlight. You can highlight surrounding mountains. I mean, highlight as in bold. Put that in bold, surrounding mountains. And put this in bold, surrounded. Put that in bold up here. Okay, and mountains, put that in bold. I'm going to show you why. Now, yes, good, Bronx. Okay, so notice in your topic sentence, you have Inyokern, surrounded, and mountains in bold. That's your topic clincher rule. I want you to see that because I want you to do that for the other paragraphs after class. You need to fix that. So you only have the words that are either repeated or reflected. Remember how we talked about that for your rule? So you have Inyokern, surrounded, mountains, and here you have Inyokern, surrounding, mountains. Those are 3 words that you're repeating or reflecting in the first sentence and the last sentence. Does that make sense, Bronx?
Yes.
So the only thing you're missing here is your who or which clause. And then this paragraph is good. It's just the way I want it. So your job is to fix this one and this one. You have too much stuff underlined. You have too many different things bolded. You only need to underline like you did here for that first sentence. Just underline the dress ups and only bold the topic clincher words. Okay, so you can fix that later, but that's good. And then let me look at yours really quick, Caitlin, then we got to get started on our assignment here. And you wrote about cheer, right, Caitlin? Okay. So I see you highlighted. Good. I see you got sport, competitive, and cheerleading. Competitive, cheerleading, and sport. Good job. You've got your topic clincher highlighted. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I miss one? Oh, yeah. I forgot to talk to you about the sentence openers, Bronx. Look at hers really quick. You see how she has a 2 with a bracket right here? The sentence openers are supposed to be they're supposed to be both the prepositional and the ly adverb. So she's got the prepositional right here after. And then you put a 2 with a bracket right before it to label it. And then she has all. Oh, that's not, let's see. That's not an ly adverb though. Right here, Caitlin. This should be for number 3, this should be a ly adverb, like interestingly or surprisingly. You could use that in that sentence, like surprisingly, all in all, competitive cheering is very complicated and hard sport, or something like that. Does that make sense, Caitlin? So think of an actual ly adverb to put here. Okay. Good. So I'm going to have to read this in more detail later, but from what I can tell right away, Caitlin, you did a great job getting your dress ups in there. It seems like you're missing one though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be 6. I think you're missing your strong verb. Yeah, you're missing a strong verb. Conditioning. There you go. You got it. Good. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna stop sharing this and go ahead and fix those couple of things, and then you can turn it in after class. So I'll stop sharing that. Let's look at, let's see, our notes from last week. Go ahead and get out your notes from your topic that we talked about. This is from last week. We're going to come back to this. This is your keyword outline. And you guys worked on your 2, 3, and 4. That was the body. And you got that. You did a great job with that. And I'll give you more feedback as we go. Today, we're going to talk about the introduction and the conclusion part of your essay. So I want you to notice, looking back on this checklist here, the introduction on your checklist says introduction includes attention getter, background information, and states the topics, either bold or highlight. Now, this is different than the body. You're not going to do a topic clincher for your introduction or your conclusion. This is going to look different for you from the body paragraphs. So you're going to follow a unique structure when you're writing that. The introduction is usually the hardest part. So what I like to tell students is do the body paragraphs like you did first, and then do the conclusion, and then come back to the introduction. So I want to show you this example here. This is page 167. So go ahead and get this page out really quick. This is page 167. Andrew Pudewa, he's got an interesting last name. This is the author of the whole curriculum that you have. So all the stuff that's in your binder came from this guy. So he wrote an example essay about his topic of choice. And we're going to look at that and look for the dress up words. And we're also going to look for those other key elements about the paper. So let's just focus on the first paragraph, because I don't think we're going to have time to read the whole. Well, I think we should make the time, but looking at the first paragraph, I'm going to read it. As I read it, I want you to be looking for the dress up words. You're going to look for the ly adverb, the who, which, the strong verb, because clause, quality adjective, and www.asia. When you find it, underline it, and we'll talk about it. So he calls it blessed by beauty. Softly rocking and swaying in our sailboat, I gazed into the crystal green depths. I was surrounded by water that beckoned to me, as did the bright white sand across the cove. Above the beach rose the brown and green dotted hills, while opposite the shore in the far distance, the vague outline of the mainland was sometimes visible. My family almost every weekend of every summer of my youth anchored at Catalina Island, which lies approximately 20 miles off the coast of Los Angeles. It was a boys' paradise playground because I could build castles and forts endlessly on the sandy beach, climb huge rocks and up steep hills, as well as extensively explore the underwater world. All right, with your pencil, you can just unmute and tell me, do you see an ly adverb in that first paragraph?
Yes, I see softly, approximately,
Bunch of them, huh?
extensively, endlessly.
Good, a bunch. You only need to find one and underline one of them, because in the rules, we only have to underline one, but you can have more than one. So that's a good example of having several, but you only need to underline one.
Okay.
Okay. And actually I underlined softly, but this is the beginning of the sentence. So it's actually going to be the sentence opener. So I should erase that, honestly, because that is the sentence opener. Remember, that's starting with an ly adverb, and down here, that's the opener ly adverb. So what we would do is put a bracket and a number 3 to label that. So we've got softly there, but you did mention some other ones. So I'm going to choose endlessly. Caitlin, how about a who, which clause? Did you see one in here?
I saw, let me find it again. Which lies approximately.
Good. Okay, underline which. Bronx, how about a strong verb? Did you see a strong verb in there?
I'll find it. Paradise.
Actually, in that sentence, that's going to be an adjective to describe the playground. I'm looking at this word anchored.
All right.
Anchored is a good strong verb. But let's underline paradise as an adjective, because it's describing the playground. It was a boys' paradise playground. That's a good one for that. Caitlin, how about, do you see because anywhere in here?
I'm like scrolling through it.
I know, we're looking at the first paragraph. I'll help you find it. It's right here.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, because, and then the Asia is the next thing on the checklist here, www.asia clause. That's when, while, where, as, since, if, although. So let's see, what do they have in here? While. green dotted hills, while. So underline that one. So there you go. There are your 6 dress ups in this paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got those. You've got one sentence opener for ly, but now we need an opener for prepositional. And I'm going to tell it to you since we're running out of time here, but right here where it has above the beach, that is a prepositional phrase opener. So we're going to label that, oops, number 2 in a bracket like that. I'm just showing you from the checklist how to make sure you have everything you need in your paragraph using this example here. So the other thing I want to point out is he wrote his story about his experience in Catalina Island. And the 3 topics that he wrote about are in that last sentence. He repeats he introduces the 3 different topics. So I want you to put a box around build castles, put a box around that. Put a box around climb and rocks and underwater world. My light is reflecting right here, so that's underwater world. So this is different now than the topic clincher, okay? These words are the topics that he's introducing in his essay. So he's writing about Catalina Island, and so for instance, let me show you this. For mine, this is my notes from last week. I was writing about Tehachapi, and I have here hiking mountain views, German bakery, delicious, rodeo, 4th of July, exciting. So I would have my words in my introduction paragraph would include hiking, German bakery, and rodeo. So what the point is when you're introducing your essay, when you write that introduction paragraph, you're introducing the topics that you're going to talk about. Now, notice something here. The next paragraph, along sandy beach provides all the raw material needed for endless building. I want you to put a box around endless building, because he's referring to the first topic here. It connects, like he's introducing building castles, climbing rocks, and underwater world. This paragraph now is all about endless building. And then notice in this body paragraph, he mentions it again at the end, endless abundance, construction material. That connects here. And we're going to go over this again next week, because I know this is a lot to absorb all at once here, but I kind of wanted you to see the structure of it. That's what I'm trying to show you guys, that this paragraph here is the body paragraph all about building castles, because that's the first thing he mentions here. This one, the next paragraph, is going to be all about in the afternoons, the wind would usually pick up and the rocks or hills called us upward. So now he's talking about climbing rocks. So he's got rocks here, and he's going to talk about rocks in this paragraph. Okay, so what I want you to put, and maybe this will help, okay? This is a body paragraph. I want you to put building castles here on the side. And this one's about rocks, climbing rocks. Oops, I'm sorry, you can't see that. Let me move it over. This paragraph here is about building castles. This paragraph here is about climbing rocks. Put a 1 with this and a 2 with this. And put a 1 up here with building castles and a 2 next to climbing rocks. See the pattern, how they introduced 1, 2, 3, building castles, climbing rocks, and the last one was the underwater world. Here you're talking about building castles. Here we're talking about climbing rocks. Okay, turn your page over because there's more on the back of this. And then he mentions hiking up hills or exploring the rocky shore. Go ahead and put a box around rocky. That's how he's tying in the rocks, climbing rocks. He ties that in there at the end of that paragraph. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. I wish I had time to, but then this last paragraph in the middle, this body paragraph, he's talking about the world underwater. Down here at the end of that paragraph, he mentions the realm beneath the waves. That's saying the same thing, world underwater. It's just saying it in a different way to connect the topic and clinch your sentences. So let's put in the margin here, underwater world. And that's going to be number 3, underwater world. And then your conclusion. This is the last paragraph here. So your conclusion is going to restate those 3 topics. So let me just flip it back over to the front again. See if I can line this up again. In the margin of this first paragraph, write introduction. And go ahead and put a 3 here by underwater world, right? Because this is building castles, climbing rocks, and underwater world. So here's your introduction. You're introducing those 3 things: building castles, climbing rocks, underwater world. Now we're going to go into more detail about building castles, climbing rocks, and on the back, underwater world. Do you see how it connects now? And then this is your conclusion. So on the back at the bottom, I want you to write conclusion. Now he's going to repeat those things, but he might put them in a different order. But the conclusion is going to restate those things. Find the word climbing rocks right here, climbing of rocks. It's kind of in the middle. He also talks about building forts and sandcastles. So climbing rocks, building forts and sandcastles. And then he also talks about below the surface. That's the underwater part. See how he restates those 3 things again in the conclusion. And that's the pattern I want you guys to get a feel for. I know we didn't get to read the whole thing, but basically that introduction paragraph introduces those 3 things. So like for Bronx, you're writing about Inyokern. And one of your topics was the majestic mountains. That was the first one that you talked about, and how the temperature was cool and everything. So that would be a topic. Let me share that one more time here. Hang in there with me, guys. I know this is new to you, but it will make sense. So let's look at Bronx's again one more time. Oh, wait, it's not that one. Hold on. Where was it? Oh, here you are. You talked about blue skies and surrounded by the majestic Sierra Mountains. The second paragraph, you talked about the airport. So the third paragraph, you talk about the car show. Okay, perfect example. You got the majestic mountains, the airport, and the car show. In your introduction paragraph, you're going to introduce those three topics and list them because you're telling your reader, this is what I'm going to explain to you. And then you go through and explain it in each paragraph. And then your conclusion, you restate it again. Okay, so now I want you to get out this page, page 169. This is page 169 from your binder. Looks like that. This is a handy dandy little outline for you to use to help you write your conclusion and your introduction paragraph. Now, most people think you got to start writing your introduction first and then finish with your conclusion, but I want you to write it the other way. The next paragraph you're going to work on for your homework is the conclusion. This is next, because it's a lot easier once you finish writing your 3 body paragraphs, which you guys already did this week for homework. If you go into your conclusion, excuse me, and wrap it up in the conclusion, then writing your introduction becomes easier. Because honestly, the introduction is the hardest part of the paper. So let's look at this together really quick. It says, restate the topics, and that's what I was talking to you about. You're going to restate the topics. Write a sentence or two about each topic. Try to convey the main idea of the body paragraph. Highlight or bold the topic keywords. And then you're going to include in your conclusion, most significant and why. What is the most important, most interesting, or most significant thing to remember about all you wrote and why? You may choose one of your topics and tell why it is the most significant, or you may choose something that tells the importance of the entire subject. Okay, so here, and I'm going to do this for Bronx because I just looked at his keyword outline for the conclusion. Topic A was majestic mountains. Topic B was airport. And topic C was the car show. Okay, this is for you, Bronx. And you can put other words in here about each one of these things, okay, to restate it in your conclusion. So this is your outline. This is a keyword outline. So you've got 1, 2 words here. And you can use like the word surrounding. Oops, that's not how you spell it though. For airport, what are some keywords you can put with about the airport in Inyokern, Bronx? What's some keywords you could say about the airport? Let me look real quick what you have here. You said something about, oh, I see. It's known for its drag racing strip. There you go. I'm just going to put racing strip. And then I'll show you this in a second. I'm looking at your last paragraph and you talk about the Inyo car, classic car show. Classic. Let me share this so you can see what I'm doing here. This is for Bronx. I have majestic mountains surrounding. For topic B, airport racing strip. That's racing strip at the airport. And then topic C, the car show classic. And then you're going to come up with 3 keywords here for why it's most significant. What is the most significant thing about Inyokern? So for you, Caitlin, yours would be all about cheer. Your topic A would be whatever your first body paragraph is about. You're going to list some keywords about that. Topic B is the second body paragraph, what you talked about there. Topic C is that third body paragraph. And so for Bronx, the most significant, what do you think, Bronx, is the most significant thing about Inyokern? What do you think is the best part of Inyokern?
I would say our classic car shows.
Classic car shows. Okay. So you could say, let's see, how could you word that? Oh, hold on just a second here.
Actually, wait, how about the airport?
The airport is the most significant part. Okay. You would say something like, most significantly, the airport. And why would you pick the airport?
Because like there's movie scenes, drag racing,
Maybe the
stuff like that.
history
Yeah,
of
the
it.
history of it, yeah.
Okay. And events, maybe the different events they have there at the airport.
Yeah.
Okay. And then why? Maybe because it's fascinating, unusual. Because I can't say that about Tehachapi or, you know, Bakersfield or another city. Those are unique. That would be another good word to use here. So I only had time to go through this with Bronx's paper, but do you get the idea, Caitlin, for yours? Because your topics is all about cheer. So you would go back through, and topic A would be what you wrote for your Roman numeral 2 paragraph. Topic B goes with Roman numeral 3. Topic C goes with Roman numeral 4. And these you're going to mention again in your conclusion. So I'm going to slow this down a little bit. I'm just going to have you guys work on your conclusion paragraph for this week. And you might have some things to fix based off of my notes on your Google Classroom. So let's look again back at this story here that Pudawa wrote. And look at page 168 on the back. Do you see right here where it says most significantly? I want you to put a little star right here. Where it says most significantly, however, I believe it was the time alone in nature that enriched my heart as I breathed in the various elements of natural creation, which then strengthened me for the challenges of adolescence and later in life. Okay, so he's pretty wordy there, but this part right here, most significantly, that is what you must include in your conclusion paragraph. Looking at your checklist, I know I'm bouncing around here, guys, hang in there with me. On your checklist under conclusion, it says conclusion restates topics, bold or highlight, and indicates most significant and why. So to reiterate, your homework is just one more paragraph, and it's your conclusion to what you have so far. So Caitlin's going to write a conclusion to what she has so far with cheer. Bronx, you're going to write a conclusion only for what you have so far for Inyokern. These still have to be in your conclusion paragraph. So right now you have 2, 3, and 4 done. Now you're going to work on paragraph 5. Next week, when we come back, you're going to work back on paragraph 1. Okay, so just focus on 5 this week. Make sure you include all of those. And you can use this outline to help you. Use this outline on page 169 to help you come up with how you're going to write your conclusion paragraph. I know that was a lot. I apologize because I don't like to just like blah, throw it all at you, but you guys are doing great. And this will make more sense the more we talk about it. Do you guys have any questions about this or about your homework assignment? Okay. Do you have any questions, Caitlin? No? Okay. So your homework is to write your last conclusion paragraph. Don't write the introduction yet. Just write the conclusion. Next week, we'll talk about how to tie it all together. Okay, so that's it for today. And I will see you I'll see you Wednesday, not Tuesday, because 4th of July. So I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay, Bronx. Happy birthday. Because I won't see you before that. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Happy early 4th of July.
Thank you. You too.
All right, bye.
Okay, Bronx. Bye-bye.